Welcome to another edition of Extra Point. This is a Bulldog edition. In the studio, we have Bulldog senior linebacker Kyle Schulte and head coach Ryan Nourse, and we are going to talk Bulldog victory, opened up the season, and it was a close one, Coach Nourse.
Yeah, it was. Nothing that I think anybody's really surprised about necessarily. It'd been a really long time since we'd played a football game. We were playing a quality opponent, and a team that had some success in a spring season as well. And we were pretty rusty. I think Kyle would attest to that. But we played together and we played hard and we finished. So we've got the important things done. We can fix the rest of it.
Well, and atmosphere-wise, how about that Saturday afternoon? I mean, one side of this Vigilante field is purple and gold, and three-fourths the other is red, white, and black. So it's been, what 600 and some days that we've been in a football field with a Western game. The atmosphere, that had to have been a sparking factor.
Yeah, it was cool to be out there. I think it was one of the louder games that I've been involved in. We always get great support. I think we're one of the few places in the Frontier where every time you come here, we pack our stands and people really come out and support the Bulldogs to support the Bulldogs. And as a coach, I don't notice it very often, but it was pretty noticeable in this game, so that was pretty cool. I think I would imagine from the players' perspective, it was pretty fun.
Well, Kyle, let's jump in and ask you from a player's perspective. I mean, you guys work hard in practice, long hours, film and practice and physical, and all of a sudden, and you talk to the guys that played in the spring, and they played football, but it just didn't seem the same because all those things that Ryan just described didn't happen. So how did it feel to walk into that stadium and look around and see wall-to-wall football fans?
It was exciting. It was super electric. Our fans are, top-notch, the best in the country, I would say. They were so excited to see us, and we were all excited to see them, and it was just a great day on Saturday. Well,
and you got to point a finger to your mom too. Where she stood, it was almost like she was leading the Bulldog cheering charge.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see her being that short, but yeah, she was up on the railing, getting the crowd going and keeping everybody on their toes. So.
Okay, well, Ryan, let's get back to the X's and O's of the game. A good game overall. You talked about the rustiness. Offensively, a new Bulldog star emerged in Reese Neville.
Yeah, Reese kind of did what we thought Reese was going to be able to do, and help our run game there. We felt like we would be able to run the football and kind of impose our will physically against those guys, and we were able to do that, especially as the game went long. But I'd say throwing the ball, that's where we were really probably the rustiest, and for whatever reason was, whether it was schematic or John wasn't feeling comfortable or Nate got hurt, whatever the reasons are, it's just a fact of the matter that's going to be an area we'll need to improve on. I think we left 21 to 28 points out there just because in the passing game we made mistakes.
Well, and that's, I guess, that using old sports colloquialism, that's just one of those things. It's first game jitters, whatever you want to call it. So I'm sure that you and your coaching staff maybe had a half an hour of celebration after the victory, and then you were probably up in the office looking at film. I'm assuming that's probably the scenario of your Saturday night.
Yeah, sometimes not so much, but yeah, we put it to bed pretty fast and get moving on to the next one. I think as when you coach, especially at the small college level, and that you don't do it for yourself. You get to keep coaching games. These guys only get to play so many games, so it's not. It's not about me, my performance, and the pride I take is in how well I can help these guys get ready for a game and have an incredible experience.
What about, you mentioned Nate Simpkins? I believe it was a hip pointer he suffered. Mm-hmm. Will that keep him out of the game this Saturday in LeGrand, or is that one of those things that he'll have to play through?
We'll see. It was a little sore still yesterday, so we'll see how these next couple days materialize and see if we'll be able to use him some on Saturday.
Let's go to the defensive side of things. As long as we have a Bulldog linebacker in here, I'm sure you've heard the phrase "Bulldog is linebacker you" under Rob Good. Well, you're in the latest batch of that that's playing. What's your perceptive of defensively that first game that you guys played?
So we had I thought we overall had a great day. Guys were excited and guys were flying around. We had some miscommunications and simple first game things like that. But we got off the field on third down. I thought we dominated on third down all day and really got after the quarterback. So thought it was a good day.
Well, and as I talked before we went on, it seemed like there was a little letdown, both offensively and defensively, Ryan, in the third quarter. It's probably attributed to the rustiness and stuff you were talking about. Fourth quarter was a whole different story. I'm not sure what you guys talked about in that break between the third and the fourth quarter, but it seemed like the both sides of the ball had renewed vigor in that fourth quarter. Defense made some huge stops, and your offensive team put together that game-winning drive when they needed to.
Yeah, I knew the game would ebb and flow. I mean, it certainly was going to do that. Emotions will do that to you, and it did. I felt a lull in the action just in terms of our team, and we were having, they had scored on our defense after kind of a fluke turnover and kind of changed the momentum. They stole the momentum from us in the game, and I was just proud of the guys. They believed all the way through, that the brotherhood of trust that these guys have. They just trusted in one another to go and get the job done and to finish the fight. And I guess there's no magic about it outside of these guys care too much to let it go, and they've got the character to finish, and that. Like I said, that more than the score, I think, can dictate how good of a team these guys can have this year.
Special teams, they struggled. Carroll blocked 3 of your punts. Although on kick returns, they played great. They had a couple of, in fact, I believe on one kick return, they forced a fumble. So what were some of the areas you worked on in special teams? Was it a timing factor or whatever?
Well, really, it was just an accuracy factor in terms of the snapping or punt. We've got all new snappers this year with, Jason Ferris was our snapper for years, and that continuity is important. So I think a combination of first game jitters and sometimes you get in it. It's easy to practice when the bullets aren't flying and it doesn't maybe count, so to speak, where you kind of find out who's going to be your guy. We had multiple guys do it, and I'm not too worried about that. And really, on the PAT and the field goal, it was just an issue with our interior guys not attacking their blocks, and then Joseph was hitting a low ball. So we cleaned up a couple things and were able to fix it as the game went on, and that's really a big part of first game. Sometimes first 3 weeks of the season is you've got to make the adjustments on the sideline, players in terms of their performance and execution and coaches being able to pinpoint the things that are going to help the players be successful out on the field. And it's not big things.
Just little things.
It's the details.
You talked about, playing without bullets. I'm thinking it's kind of like being on the golf course and going to the driving range and hitting these stellar drives and then stepping on the tee box for your first tee and topping the ball.
No question, yeah.
So, well, and then coming up on Saturday, you get to make that long journey to La Grande, Oregon. Eastern Oregon has turned out to be a pretty good rival for the Bulldogs. Tim Camp has put a good program together. He's been there for a long time. How do you see going into that game? They won their opening game, so a couple of undefeated teams meeting.
I think it's going to be a tough game. It seems to be that way every time we play down there. We usually get the better of them at home. Usually it's pretty bad for whatever reason, but they are a very confident team. They believe when they're at home, they are aggressive, and they always play very hard, but we're anticipating a lot of pressure, trick plays, vertical passing game, all the stuff you get out of them when you go down to their home field. And I think if we come off the bus attacking like we need to, I feel like these guys will get her done, and they've got the ability to do it. It's just, I think, going to be the mix of the travel, getting off the bus, having the right attitude, going and attacking it.
Well, I've watched a couple of games on TV of the colleges that have played, and the comment they talk about is the teams that played in the spring coming up against the teams that didn't play in the spring. Is that more of just a head factor, or is it a factor?
Well, if you don't practice and you don't play, you're not going to find out who you are, where you need to be. So we've got the game under our belt. We've got a ton of veteran guys, and that's really, I believe, all we need. We just needed to play again. We just needed a ball game, and we got the ball game. We knew what we need to work on this week. We've done it on offense, defense, and special teams, and we're just going to go down and perform. It's a new season now. It doesn't matter what you did in the spring. That was a jamboree. This isn't a jamboree now. This is for real. Okay.
Well, let's talk to Kyle Schulte here, a senior from Butte, Montana, 6-year senior.
Yes, sir.
And what's your major in? Let's go in the classroom a little bit.
So I'm a kinesiology major. I have plans to attend chiropractic school after I finish up here, and I'm doing my internship with Dr. Xtra over at Pursuit Sports Chiropractic. So I'm enjoying that and having a good time doing that.
Another Bulldog alum.
Yeah. He played basketball back in the earlier 2000s. So.
And married to an all-conference basketball player too. So you're just trying to make it an all Bulldog clinic there.
Yeah, that's right.
So have you always been a linebacker? When you were in Butte, did you play linebacker, or were you? I mean, in high school football is just a wee bit different than what you do in college.
Yeah, so most of my life I've been a linebacker. Towards the end of my high school career when I was a senior, I moved to tackle, and I also moved to defensive end to fill a role. So I played defensive end, and I got really comfortable doing that, rushing the passer, sticking my hand in the dirt. But linebacker's where I've always wanted to be, and I feel like that's where I can produce the best.
So I'll ask a question. I'll put you on the spot a little bit. What's your strength, run defense or pass defense?
I would say run defense. I'm a little more downhill run oriented.
Okay. Well, I can't think of much else to say except go Dogs, get a victory, bring it back. And Ryan, when we come here next week, we can talk about another Bulldog victory.
That'd be awesome. I think these guys got what it takes, and hopefully the ball will bounce our way a little bit here, and we'll travel like pros. And I know these guys will, and they'll be ready to play. So I'd watch it if I was you.
Well, I think you'll have a pretty good internet audience. Although talking to Kathy Simpkins at the game, after the game on Saturday, I think there's going to be a large contingent of Bulldog fans traveling to LeGrand, and I think your mom will be leading the parade down there too.
Yeah, I would assume so. Wherever the action is, she's not far from it. So.
Okay, so Ryan Nourse, Kyle Schulte, thank you very much for being our guest on Extra Point, and good luck on Saturday. And we'll turn it back to Jeremy.